10th March 2021. Morning Murli. Om Shanti BapDada Madhuban. Sweet children, you have to become as pure as a lotus flower while living at home with your families. Follow the directions of the One Father. Don't do any disservice. Question. Which children does Maya punch very hard? What is the highest destination? Answer. Maya gives very hard punches to the children who stay in body consciousness. They become trapped in name and form. As soon as body consciousness comes, they are slapped. Their status is destroyed through this. It is a very high destination to break body consciousness. Baba says children become soul conscious just as the Father is your obedient servant and therefore egoless. So you have to become just as egoless. There shouldn't be the slightest ego. Song. Neither will he be separated from us, nor will there be sorrow in our hearts. Om Shanti. You children heard the song. Children say, when we were in the incorporeal world, we belonged to Baba and Baba belonged to us. You children have received very clear knowledge. You know that you have been around the cycle. We now belong to him once again. He has come to teach us Raj Yoga and to make us into the masters of heaven. He has come once again exactly as he did in the previous cycle. The Father says, "Oh children, so don't just become his children and sit here in Madhuban whilst living at home with your families. Remain as pure as a lotus. A lotus flower stays in water and yet remains above the water. It is not touched by the water. The Father says you have to live at home but just remain pure. This is the last of your many births. I have come to purify all human beings. The purifier and the bestower of salvation for all is only one. No one apart from him can purify everyone. You know that you have been coming down the ladder for half the cycle. You definitely have to complete your 84 births. It is when you have completed the cycle of 84 births and have reached the state of total decay that I then have to come. No one else can make you pure from impure before then. No one knows the Father or his creation. According to the drama, everyone has to become impure and tamopradhan in the Iron Age. The Father comes and purifies everyone and takes them to the land of peace. You then claim your inheritance of the land of happiness from the Father. There is no sorrow in the golden age. Having died alive, you now belong to the Father. The Father says you have to live at home with your families. Baba never tells any of you to leave your home and family. No, by living at home with your family, you simply have to become pure in this last birth. Has Baba ever said that you have to leave your homes and families? No, you left your homes by yourselves for the sake of doing God's service. Some children are doing God's service while living at home. They have not been made to leave their homes. Baba doesn't tell any of you to leave your home. You have come here by yourselves to do service. Baba has not made any of you leave your home. Your physical father tells you to get married because you know that it is now the end of the land of death. You don't do that. You get married means to run yourself. And so, how would you be able to become pure? Instead, why should you not engage yourself in making Bharat into heaven? children want the kingdom of Ram, they call out, "Oh, purify Ram of Sita, Ram, come and make Bharat into heaven." They say this, but they don't understand anything. Sannyasis say that the happiness of this time is like the droppings of straw. It really is like that. There is no happiness here. They say this, but it doesn't enter their intellects that the Father would not create a world to make them unhappy. The Father says, "Have you forgotten that there is no name or trace of sorrow in the golden age? Where would Kans, etc. come from? You now have to follow the directions that the unlimited Father gives you. By following your own directions, you ruin yourself." Some are amazed when they hear this knowledge. They relate it and then run away and become traitors. They go and do so much disservice. What would become of them? Instead of making their lives as valuable as a diamond, they became like a shell. At the end, you will have visions of everything you did. Because of such a behavior, you will claim such and such a status. You mustn't commit any sin here because you are becoming pure and charitable souls. There would be 100-fold punishment for any sin you commit. Although you might go to heaven, you would receive a very low status. You come here to study Raj Yoga and you then become subjects. There is a lot of difference in the status you attain. It is explained that anyone who gives something to the yajna and then takes it back will take birth as a cremator. The behavior of some children is such that their status is reduced. Baba explains, don't perform such actions that they would make you claim a low status among the subjects instead of that of a king or queen. What would become of someone who surrenders to the yajna and then runs away? The Father has also explained, children, don't perform any sinful action, otherwise 100-fold punishment will be received. So, why should you cause yourself a loss? Those who live at home and do a lot of service claim a much higher status than those who live here. There are many poor children who send 8 annas or a rupee. The poor claim a higher status than those who give thousands here. The poor ones claim a higher status because they don't perform sinful actions. When a sin is committed, 100-fold punishment is accumulated. You have become pure charitable souls and you give everyone happiness. If you cause sorrow, there is then the tribunal. Visions are given of what you did and what the punishment for that will be. Even your status is destroyed. Some children listen to this and yet they continue to behave wrongly. The Father says, always live like milk and sugar. If you live like salt water, you cause a lot of disservice. If you become trapped in anyone's name or form, that too is a big sin. Maya is like a mouse. She blows and then bites you in such a way that even when it bleeds, you don't realize it. Maya also makes you bleed. She makes you perform such actions that you don't even realize what you are doing. The 5 vices completely scalp you. Baba has to caution you, of course, so that you don't say in front of the tribunal that you weren't warned. You know that God is teaching you. He himself is so egoless. He says, I am your obedient servant. Some children have so much arrogance. After belonging to Baba, they perform such actions. Don't even ask. Compared to them, those who live outside at home with their families are very far ahead of them. As soon as you become body conscious, Maya punches you hard. To break body consciousness is a high destination. As soon as body consciousness comes, you are slapped. So, why become so body conscious that your status is destroyed? It shouldn't be that you have to sweep the floors when you go there. If any of you were to ask Baba, Baba could tell you. Each one of you can understand for yourself how much service you do and how to many you have given happiness. Mama and Baba give everyone happiness. They became so happy. Baba used to perform the dance of knowledge so much in Bombay. There were many who were like chatrak birds, means mythical bird that drank nectar. Baba says, I perform the dance of knowledge in front of those who are very eager to hear it, and so many good points emerge. The chatrik birds pull this to themselves. You too have to become like them, for only then will you be able to follow. You have to follow Srimad. If you follow your own directions and defame the Father, you cause a lot of damage. The Father is now making you sensible. Bharat used to be heaven. No one consider it to be that now. No other land is as pure as Bharat was. They say this, but they don't understand that the people of Bharat, were the residents of heaven. There used to be limitless happiness there. Guru Nanak sung the praise of God and how he comes and washes the dirty, impure clothes. His praise is that he is the incorporeal one. Instead of Shivlingam, they have used the name the immortal throne. The Father is now explaining the secrets of the whole world to you. Children, don't commit even one sin, otherwise 100-fold punishment will be accumulated. If you have defamed me, your status will be destroyed. You have to be very cautious. Make your life as valuable as a diamond. Otherwise, there will be great repentance. Whatever wrong act you have done, it will continue to bite you inside. Will I do the same thing every cycle so that my status becomes as low? The Father says, if you wish to follow the mother and father, then do service with honesty. Maya will push her way in and enter you in one way or another. The heads of the centers have to become completely egoless. Look how egoless the Father is. Some children take personal service from others. The Father is so egoless. He never becomes angry with anyone. If children are disobedient, the Father can explain to them, what are you doing? Only the unlimited Father knows everything. Not all the children are worthy to the same extent. There are still some who are unworthy. Baba continues to explain to you, there are many children. The number of them will increase and there will be hundreds of thousands of them. The Father continues to caution you, children, don't be careless and make mistakes. You have come here to become pure from impure. Therefore, don't perform impure actions. Don't become trapped in anyone's name or form. Don't become body conscious. Be soul conscious and continue to remember the Father. Continue to follow Srimad. Maya is very powerful. Baba can explain everything. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, BapDada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, become as egoless as the Father. Don't take personal service from anyone. Don't cause anyone sorrow. Don't perform any sinful action due to which punishment would be experienced. Live together like milk and sugar. Second point, follow the Srimad of the One Father and not the dictates of your own mind. Blessing. May you be a master creator who looks after the world with the plane of your divine intellect. Explanation. According to how divine someone's intellect is, based on that divinity, their speed is just as fast. With the clarity of the plane of your divine intellect, tour around the world in a second and look after all souls. Make them content to the extent that you became a ruler of the globe and continue to tour around. Accordingly, the sound will emerge from all directions that they have seen a light, that they have seen an angel walking. For this became one who benefits the self and also benefit the world, a master creator. Slogan: to become a master bestower and give many souls the experience of attainment is to become equal to the Father Brahma. Om Shanti. Invaluable elevated virgins of Mateshwariji. First, what is the proof that God is not omnipresent? In the Gita, the jewel of all scriptures, the virgin of God are children. Where there is a victory, I am there. These are God's elevated virgins. I am in the Himalayas, which are the highest mountains of all, and among snakes I am the black snake. This is why among the mountains they show the Kailash mountains, and among the snakes they show a black snake. This proves that if God were just in a black snake out of all snakes, then he does not reduce in all the snakes. If God is in the highest mountain, then he is not in the lower mountains. And then it is said, where there is a victory, there is birth, that is, he is not defeated. Thus things proves that God is not omnipresent. On the one hand they say this, and then on the other hand they say that God comes in many forms, and they have shown 24 incarnations of God. They say that the fish and the crocodile, etc., are all forms of God. This is their false knowledge. They just consider God to be everywhere, when in fact in the Iron Age it is Maya that is present everywhere. So, how can God then be present everywhere? It is mentioned in the Gita too, I am not present in Maya. This proves that God is not everywhere. Second one, the incorporeal world, the resident of souls and the supreme soul. We know that when we speak of the incorporeal world, incorporeal does not mean that it does not have a form. When we speak of the incorporeal world, it definitely has a meaning. There definitely is a world, but it has no form like the physical world does. In the same way, the Supreme Soul is incorporeal, but he definitely has his own subtle form. So, the land of us souls and the Supreme Soul is the incorporeal world. So, when we speak of the world, it shows that there is a world there and that we reside there, and this is why it is given the name world. People of the world think that God's form is of the eternal element of light, but that is the place of God's residence, which is also called the retirement home. So, we cannot say that God's home is God. The other world is the subtle world where the deities Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar reside in their subtle forms. This is the physical world, which is of two parts. One is the viceless world of heaven, where there is complete happiness, purity, and peace for the half the cycle. The other is the vicious Iron Age world of sorrow and peacelessness. Why do we say that there are these two worlds? Because people say that both the worlds of heaven and hell are created by God, but God's versions for this are, children, I did not create the world of sorrow. The world I create is the world of happiness. The world of sorrow and peacelessness is because human souls have forgotten themselves and myself, the Supreme Soul, and this is why they are suffering. However, it isn't that while there is the world of happiness and charity, there isn't a world there. Yes, when we say that deities reside there, then there were definitely all activities there. However, it was certain that there was no creation through vice there, and because of this, there were no karmic bondages. That world is called the world of heaven and free from karmic bondage. So, one is the incorporeal world, the other is the subtle world, and the third is the physical world. Acha, Om Shanti.